I didn't have it that time. Welcome to another Fitish episode.
I feel like I could just like put my head on your shoulder and take a little snooze.
I feel so just want a nappy lately.
Yeah, JC and I both today are like, man, I feel tired. Yeah, I'm tired. I've been like, every time I turn around, I have to do like another shot or take another pill, and it's just fucking killing me.
Yeah, see, you're dealing with way more crazy stuff than I am. I'm just basically tired because I moved.
Well, that's
not like
really
moved around, but like I
moved my body. No, that's a really tiring thing though.
It is, Jenna, because
new stairs you have to walk up.
New stairs, like just getting used to things.
A new drive home. Like when you're right.
I haven't driven anywhere, but it is going to be a new drive home. You know what I haven't done yet though, and this happened a lot when I first moved.
What?
And I guess it's because I'm not driving to work, but I would drive home to the wrong place when I moved, probably at least once or twice a week.
Yeah.
Especially when I moved out of the apartments we lived in, I would drive to our apartments probably once or twice a week. This time, I haven't done it once. I go to the gym, or if I go to the store, and it's close to my old house, I go to the new house.
Do you know what I do sometimes? And it's been a minute. No, I'm kidding. I actually did this like a week ago. My drive to this office is similar to the drive to the radio show, but it splits at one part. So like I get on this toll road and I come down to this exit, and that's what I used to do for the radio show. But then I would get back onto the interstate down here to go out to the show. And so I found myself like on a couple mornings when I'm distracted on the way to work, which I have no excuse now. I'm not as sleep deprived anymore, but I'll get back on the interstate and be like, I'm driving to a radio show that I don't work at anymore for a year now.
You could still show up though. Like if you just go on the wrong road, you should just come say hi.
You're not even in the studio anymore.
Yeah, but you can get on the microphone and be like, hey, JC, I'm on that Zoom call.
Yeah, for me, it would be like 11 a.m. and y'all would be long done by then.
Oh, yeah, we done.
I still think about you every morning.
Yeah, we absolutely would be done.
I feel like I'm using now the IVF as an excuse for all of my feelings. And so then I thought, well, so what, right? I mean, it is, I don't feel good because of it. So I might as well, even on the days that maybe it's not because of it, I just don't feel good or I'm tired, I use it.
Are you cranky?
Is that bad? Not cranky. No, the edginess is kind of subsided. Now I'm just kind of like,
blah.
A little bit. Yeah. Today I feel tired. I don't know why, because I got a really good night's sleep, but I'm feeling tired. My boobs hurt. Yeah, like, but not in like a fun way. Like, not like, oh, my boobs hurt.
How's there a fun way for your boobs to hurt?
I don't know. I don't know if there's ever a fun way. Like, but I think like when you start talking about boobs, guys start sexualizing it. And I know Francisco, I'm like, my boobs hurt. And he's like, I'll rub them. And I'm like, no. Like, I don't even want to like touch them myself. Like, clothes hurt.
He's not alone. I mean, when Kinsey tells me her boobs hurt before her period every month.
Yeah.
And I accidentally, like, I just, as a dude, we like boobs. And just poking it, just like barely touching it hurts.
I'm like, can you just not?
Because we're used to, look, when something hurts on us, a massage fixes it up. So that's how we feel. Like, we're like, look, if we massage it for you, it'll feel better. But we know better. But they're just there. And we didn't grow up with them. So it's nice.
I just, we have some relationship quandaries.
About what?
So it's strange. Like, I think with this whole thing that you can't take someone into your doctor's appointment with you. So do you still
Even
go?
with IVF, he can't.
Right. I believe they're going to let him in when I do my transfer, which is happening like very, very soon, just so y'all know. I think they let him in the room when I do that. I'm pretty sure and I don't know. So I'm going to ask because I have an appointment tomorrow, my last appointment before I do all this. So I'm going to ask.
A question, because there's a lot of us listening that are not well versed in this whole thing. And I know you're learning and you're probably way better versed than we are. The transfer. So that's a fertilized egg going into your into the oven?
Yep, embryo. Right.
Embryo,
so fertilized egg, but it's an embryo that we've tested. So we know we have 3 boys and 2 girls. And so it's like you get an ultrasound, which is where they basically put like a little camera reader up there, right?
And embryos only look like a tadpole?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Well, no, it's a blastocyst, so it looks like a little circle with a bunch of cells. So from what I've seen, it's so weird because I don't consider myself to be an emotional person, which is bullshit because I'm a highly emotional person, but I don't consider myself to be like, oh, I want to get a picture of the baby.
You don't cry over dumb shit.
I'm going to take like these couples photos. Yeah, maybe, but I do. I cry over dumb shit all the time. So anyway, I've seen that they actually give you an ultrasound photo of the blastocyst, which seems early because like a lot could happen in a couple of weeks and it could not stick. But yeah, I have to imagine that's a pretty emotional moment because that's like the first, and a lot of couples don't have that luxury, right? Because you don't know you're pregnant until you go to the doctor and find out later, but you know that they're putting it in. So they give you what is technically could potentially be like the first photo of your baby. And so then like people will post the photo and they say that it's like very emotional, but yeah, they use a catheter and they drop it off. They find the best spot in there and they're like, this is a good landing place. And then they like use a catheter and then they like go put it in there.
Whoa.
Right? Like whatever looks most like pillowy for it to lay down on. And then you lay there for an hour and then you go home, and I'll have to be on bed rest for like a day or two. I mean, it differs with advice, but the recommendation is, you go home and you lay down. And I had no idea. I think we talked about that bed rest is like, you don't get out of bed other than to pee.
You might get bed sores.
I might get bed sores. But no, I was thinking, Fran has a lot of work going on, and I'm not really like, I don't want to be this beat down of a woman that I'm probably going to turn into anyway, but I don't know, do I have him go to the appointments with me, even though he probably just has to sit in the lobby?
He probably, just knowing Fran and how romantic of a Latin man he is going to want to go.
That's what he said.
I wanted to go to every appointment.
And I love that, but like, what if you can't actually go into the appointment?
It doesn't matter. It's just being able to drive with you, right? Mm-hmm. And talking, because I know a lot of this is nerve wracking, and it's nerve wracking even if you're not going through IVF, even if it's just a regular pregnancy. It's just because you never know what's going to happen, and they tell you that from the get go. It's just being there on the drive there and knowing that that he's going to be feet away. He's there in case you do need a hug or you do need something or you need to call him or whatever. Just the fact that he's just there.
I agree. Good. You know what I mean? Okay, well, it's decided, Fran. You're coming with me to every appointment that you can possibly make it to. Yeah. But this one where they instruct him how to do my butt shots, they draw on my hind quadrants. They draw 4 quadrants.
Like they do like on a pig when you like the meat off?
Yeah, because they want you to know. But I don't even know if he gets to come to that appointment. I'm like, it's kind of crucial that my nurse attends this appointment to learn how to inject me. Or then I have to like regurgitate all the information back to him. And
what about a video? What if you take your phone and you just video it so that way you always have? Yeah. This is what I've learned. I would
Nothing like having my ass with some Sharpie squares on it.
That's only for you and Fran, but I've learned that if it weren't for YouTube video, instructional videos on YouTube, I wouldn't be a man.
You wouldn't be a man?
A man. That's all my manly tasks I have ever done, Jenna.
Got it. I thought you meant it helped you with like grow man parts. Yeah. No, you would not be a man.
I mean, the wiener's there, but a wiener does not make you a man.
That's true. I mean, you can learn how to do everything on YouTube. It's really amazing.
Yeah. I just flipped a dryer door. You could flip the side, which way it opens.
Speaking of learning how to do stuff, though, I
guess I could have gone to Skillshare too, huh?
Yeah. No, that's what I was going to say. That's actually the resource that I've been using. No, I mean, YouTube's great for videos, but if you like really want to get engaged with learning how to do something, Skillshare, something that we've been so excited that they've sponsored the podcast.
Here's the difference between those two. If you use a video online, you're going to learn how to do it right there, and then you're not going to keep the information. What Skillshare does, it gives you the skill. It teaches you how to do it, and you retain that information.
I told someone the other day, there is such a good feeling when you've learned a new skill. And I've been talking a lot about how I've been learning Spanish. I've actually been reading a lot of books at night over watching TV because I want to learn, I want to learn about things. And Skillshare is so great. You feel happier. It's actually going to give you confidence when you learn a new skill, just that kind of sense of personal growth. And Skillshare has an endless list of classes. So you don't have to say, oh, I'm like Jenna or I'm like JC and I'm really interested in learning, photography, or for me, I've done video editing because that's something I actually use in my day-to-day life. But
marketing, Fran's doing his, isn't he becoming a pilot with his,
a drone pilot?
Yeah,
he's a drone. Yeah, Skillshare offers that as well. So you can set some goals and make them achievable with short lessons and hands-on projects. Explore your creativity at Skillshare.com/Fitish and get a free free trial of premium membership. That's Skillshare.com/Fitish. Again, an annual subscription is less than $10 a month. So you can't even put a price on personal growth.
Man. That's priceless right there.
I have a cheap. So I know I mentioned, so I have that. And then I have something that's like very personal to Fran and I, and some stuff, some issues that we've encountered in the past when it comes to just kind of like trust in the relationship. And so we trust each other, right? But I think there's also, I've tried to tell Fran, the more you reveal to your partner, I feel the more trust that you can build, right? Yeah. Like when you tell them things that maybe you thought, and I think men maybe are even guilty of this or more guilty, like maybe you like run into a woman that you used to date and you don't tell Kinsey about it, and then she finds out about it later and you didn't tell her because it was pointless, right? It's kind of those scenarios is what I'm going to start talking about. Like, yeah. Or like you just ended up running into someone having a drink with them and you didn't tell her because you thought she'd be pissed, but then she finds out and she's even more pissed.
We were in San Diego one time and we went to a restaurant and I went into the bathroom and how you're friends with some exes, not friends like I don't call them friendly,
like on fine terms. Yeah.
Like, yeah, maybe we're friends on Facebook or on Instagram or whatever. And it's my girlfriends are from high school, right?
Yeah.
I don't have, I met Kinsey in college, so I don't have adult girlfriends. These are all girlfriends from high school.
You don't have like local Dallas girlfriends.
No, I don't.
That's where Fran and I run into some problems.
So we were at this restaurant and I remember I was in the bathroom and I look at this guy and I'm like, damn, this dude looks so freaking familiar. Where the hell do I know this guy from? Right. And it's one of those where like, I cannot.
Did I date him? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, was it like during my gay phase? Like, I don't know, like that was so blurry back in college. No, so I'm thinking like, who is this guy? And he walks out and I'm looking at him and he starts walking towards his table and I see, oh, it's my ex-girlfriend's husband. And she had, made eye contact with him as he was coming out of the bathroom. And then I came out, which I'm sure is probably the biggest mind fuck of her life. Because I come out of the bathroom and so her eyes lock on him and then she sees me and we kind of make eye contact. And all I did was just what's up? Just a head nod, a hand up in there. And she kind of like tilted her head and just did the same thing. And I went off. I didn't tell Kinsey because there was no need.
No.
Like I didn't want her to feel like, oh, his girlfriend's here. I didn't feel like that was necessary for her to even think about some girlfriend that I had a relationship with being in that same restaurant. And it wasn't because I was trying to hide things from her. It was just because it was inconsequential to our night and it was not anything big. And so I refrained from telling that information until this podcast.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you were going to say, well, so that's very innocuous. So mine's even more severe than that. Well, because I'm an almost 37-year-old woman. I've lived in this city for 12 or 13 years. Fran's lived here the same amount of time. And he, we can't go anywhere without some older woman being like, oh, Francisco. And I was just like, how many older women did you sleep with before we got together? For sure.
He was.
For sure.
I don't blame him.
He also his group of friends was all, they're all about 10 years older than him. So I think it was just the nature of his group of friends and probably why I'd never run into him before. But I digress. So him and I, just on a personal level, had a couple of issues here and there. He's a fiery Latin lover. And I'm sure, if he ever saw that, yes, like I have a working relationship with someone that I've gone out with before. I have mutual friends, that in that group, there's a guy that I, dated for a few months once before, that sort of thing. And so he's encountered a couple of these people. I have made the grave mistake. I always tell women, if you don't have to tell, don't tell. But of course, some of it's inevitable because he was aware of it, right? He just knows. And
here's what could happen though. You don't want a friend to ruin it for you and be like, yeah, that dude that was over. Yeah, remember when Jenna used to date with him? Because that is the worst thing that can happen.
Why did you never tell me that? Right. So I've been pretty open about it, like omitting details. It's not like I said like, this is how many sexual partners I've had in my life. No, I don't do that. But anyway, so we've had a couple of issues, vice versa as well, that we've kind of discovered like, oh, you like went out to lunch with this person and you used to date them? No, but like, I don't know, like if I believe it. And so point is, and I think this is a good thing that's at least working for us now. We made a decision because we're trying to like improve the relationship, just to say, okay, if you are going to have a meeting, right, because it's work related, right? Like he kind of works with someone that, you get where I'm going with this, or like I sometimes will have, once a week talk to someone that I used to date and it's totally platonic, but like that's easy for me to say, right? Like if you're a partner, it can make you feel uncomfortable,
he doesn't know that.
And so there was just a couple of issues that arose, just like questioning, like, well, I didn't know you were like talking to that person. So now we just tell someone, like, if you think you would be uncomfortable, you know, if you found out that I did X, then you should call and tell me if you're doing the same thing. So we have been utilizing this method now for a few months. And he actually called me this morning to tell me something. Someone that I thought there may be an issue with, like wanted to see a property. So he called me to be like, hey, do you mind, like, you know, and I was like, absolutely, great. And so I think it's kind of working, you know? Good. I mean, because I don't tend to be a jealous person, but I think once the seed of doubt about something gets planted in your head, or you're just kind of like, man, or I'm feeling a little hormonal with everything going on. So now I tell him the same thing. Like, I had a guy who actually came over to the office one day and we had a meeting. And I was like, hey, I just want to let you know, so-and-so's coming by the office probably for a couple hours and we're going to be like alone meeting in the office. He's like, thanks for letting me know.
We might get naked.
And then Bran popped by. No, I'm kidding.
You see him with some binoculars?
Yeah, he came by. Oh, hello. I'm just here. Yeah, no. So anyway, I don't know if that's a weird thing or what people do in that scenario, but that's what we do. We just are now like almost overly upfront about it because I feel like that's how you establish really good trust.
And here's why I think it's a good idea, because Kinsey went back to visit her friend. She was going to go stay at her friend's house. This is before we were even married. We were still dating, but we lived here. Mm-hmm. And
she was going back to California.
She was going back to California and she was going to stay with her friend Amber. And Amber had a bunch of roommates. So she was living with her boyfriend at the time. And then she had 2 roommates. Now, I didn't know one of those roommates was a boy Kinsey dated in high school. And it wasn't a boyfriend. It was just a guy she dated with and
just like hung out a few times.
Hung out with him and they did have hooked up.
Yes.
And he was a roommate and Kinsey she was going to stay at that house.
Oh.
And I said, no.
Really?
I couldn't. I was like, I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah. Interesting.
And here's, the other reason I didn't feel comfortable is because she says he's the one that cut it off. And I don't know why in my head, and this is just, you play mind games with yourself.
That she's still heartbroken, like the one that got away.
Yeah, like what I'm, like that's what's going on in my young 24-year-old mind. I'm like, oh man, this is the guy that like didn't want to date her. And what if she still like wants to show him like, yo, look what you're missing out on. This is what's going on in my head. In her head, she's going like, I'm just going to go stay with Amber at her house. I don't give a damn that he lives here. I don't care. I like you. But that's not how we think when we're in our 20s. So I was like, look, I don't feel comfortable with you.
Wow. And so
staying
she
at this house. And she didn't. And she actually was really cool about it. She didn't put up a fuss or anything. And then we went out there the following year and Amber still lived there. And so did that dude. And she invited us to stay at the house. And we did.
Oh.
And this dude turned out to be a cool ass guy. Like he was a cool ass dude, man. Just a dope dude.
But you felt more comfortable because you were there. Yeah.
Like once I meet the guy and I realize, all right, this guy is definitely not interested in my girlfriend. Not that my girlfriend's not. It's just they're not compatible. Yeah. People sometimes are not compatible. So I would have been fine if I would have just let things happen. But sometimes you just got to meet the people too. You do. And I think that's what's hard, because when he goes back to Mexico a lot, there may be times that he goes out to eat with a girl and then I'm like, oh, they're speaking Spanish. I don't even know what the fuck they're saying between the two of them. Right. And I want to be a really free flowing, trustworthy person. I really, really do. And I don't ever want to be that, and that's what he said. Like, if you tell me no, it makes me uncomfortable, but I don't want to be that because I just feel like when you tell someone, no, you're not doing that. You're not going out with them. I don't want you to be friends with this person, girl or guy or whatever, right? I just feel like that starts to create this sense of secrecy. And I know how I am as a person. I want to rebel. I want to be like, don't tell me what to do, because that's just how I am naturally. I don't even think if it's disrespectful. I'm like, no, you're not going to tell me that I can't go hang out with this person. So I just say, but it's been hard. It's been hard to date someone that, Fran's amazing, but it's that whole, when he lives the majority of his life in Spanish. Mm-hmm. And so on the phone, speaking to women that just sound hot as shit because they're like have hot Spanish names and they're speaking Spanish and like they could fight with them in Spanish. And it sounds like a very sexy thing. And it's just hard because he's like, do you want to see who I'm talking to? Because I'm like, she sounds hideous. No, she sounds really hot. I'm like the opposite. Well, I'm a dude, so. No, she sounds really hot. And he's like, Jenna, like she's my attorney. I was like, yeah, exactly. A hot Mexican attorney. Yeah. Licenciada. And I'm a pretty secure person. And it's definitely thrown me for a little bit of a loop sometimes. La y ordered. Yeah. La y ordered. You know what blows my mind? I'm here on the phone and I'm like on translator apps, like, what is this saying? So a lot of dudes I've realized go nuts when I tell them that Kinsey grabs my phone and can go through it freely.
Yeah, Fran and I are there. We don't tend to do it, but we could.
She's not looking for shit. Her phone's in the other room. She picks my phone
take
up.
A photo.
She's like, let me go look at this on Instagram, or Mom, my friend said this is funny on TikTok, and she'll pick up my phone and she'll go through it. In fact, Kinsey's the reason I'm a sneakerhead, and I was telling my friends this. I was talking to my boys, and I was like, Kinsey bought me some Yeezys.
I know.
Because she hit you up. Kinsey,
no, it was her idea. She just asked if they were cool and if I thought you'd like them. I was like, yeah.
And so you greenlit. She did tell me she talked to you, but she also told me that one time I was in the shower and she just grabbed my phone and she went through my because she knew that I was looking for shoes. It's the ones I'm wearing right now, by the way. Yo, my first kicks.
Did she get?
No, she didn't get me these.
Oh.
She did not, because she couldn't find that. But she did go on my internet and on my search history, and she was trying to find the sneakers I had been looking at.
Yeah.
But they were on an app. They weren't on my internet browser. And I told my buddies this. I was like, man, Kinsey really tried really hard to get me the shoes I wanted. She even went on my history for my internet. And my boy goes, what the fuck, bro? She went on your history? I'm like, yeah, like, what's wrong with that? He goes, what if she finds something that pisses her off? I'm like, well, then she should be pissed off, right? Like, if there's something she should be pissed off at, she should be pissed off at it. But I don't really feel like there's anything except for like a bunch of Zillow listings and like maybe a couple funny YouTube videos.
Have fun with my boring history.
Yeah, and I like watching kangaroo fights, and that's about it. Like, you're not gonna. I'm not a porn guy, so you're not gonna find porn on my thing. I don't know if I'm broken. I just don't like it. Kinsey likes porn more than I do. Sorry if my mother-in-law is listening, but I'm not that person. And so I just feel like I've been with this girl for so long that I don't care if she goes through my phone. She can go look at my DMs, and is she going to find girls that are contacting me and maybe sending me pictures that those girls shouldn't send me? Yeah, they're going to be there, but I'm not asking for them and I don't interact with them. So I don't feel like I'm in the wrong. But so many dudes told me that's a deal breaker. Like that would definitely end their relationship if their girl did that. Or if they even got to do that, the girl would end it with them because of what she would find on the phone. Which blew my mind.
I hate that. I mean, I don't want to feel like I don't want to live in a place where I feel like I constantly have to like search a guy's phone, because then I shouldn't be in that relationship. But yeah. And it's hard because I think that sometimes, and Fran and I have talked about this, like certain things can be taken out of context. Him and I have run into that, like with stuff on the phone, like dudes are going to be dudes. They're going to send each other inappropriate things. And you just, for the most part, maybe not JC, but you just have to be okay with it. Right.
And she's seen those. My boys and I, we'll send each other some funny memes and stuff, and we'll make fun. And she knows it's just guys being dudes and being funny. And like, and
you sometimes want to be able to vent to your friends. Like I said to Fran, I was talking to Claudia, and I feel like he like saw my phone over my shoulder, and I was talking to my girlfriend about how weird I've been feeling from the medicine, like not feeling, sexual, like not wanting to have sex or anything like that, just because I've been kind of going through these phases of like, and they say like when you're pregnant, it's the same. Like you go from like, don't touch me to like, I want to have sex to like, on and on. And so, Claudia and I were kind of talking about it because she's been through this process I'm going through. And I feel like he saw me, just messaging about that. And so, and I think he took it real personal. Like I don't want to, and I was like, no. Like it's just the way that I feel. Cause I think sometimes things can be taken out of context. It's not like I'm not attracted to Fran. It's like, I'm just feeling real weird.
I feel like it's easier for us guys when girls say, hey, I'm not really feeling sex right now. I think it's easier for us, but I noticed that if us dudes say we're not feeling sex right now, as a girl, you guys take it a lot harder.
Yeah.
And I think we need equality when it comes to that.
Yeah, I think you're cheating when you say that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we're just really tired, or maybe we're just sad, and it's just like if we're sad, the wiener sometimes doesn't want to work as well.
Why don't you talk to Fran about that? Because Fran is never not in the mood, and it makes me feel like I'm not satisfying.
You got that good blood flow.
He would have sex like 3 times a day, and we don't have sex 3 times a day, like ever. But I don't understand it, and then it makes me feel like he's gonna. And this is an irrational fear that I genuinely have. Like he is absolutely gonna go find it somewhere else because it is just not possible for me to have sex that often. I don't want to.
I know, but it's not like you're withholding it for a month.
No, that's what he said. He was just like, Jenna, it's not that I like want to get it from anyone.
Yeah, it's just how long do you want him to last? The more you give him practice, if you're gonna make him wait, like if it's 2 or 3 times a week, it's not gonna be a long time for you. It's gonna be probably nice little short.
Great.
Nice little short round.
Why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, but there's
who has time for marathon sex?
Because guys, we think girls want the marathon sex.
No.
So guys think like, oh yo,
I don't know a single girl that wants marathon sex. I mean, I don't want like 1 minute, but
yeah, exactly. So Missy Elliott screwed us all over when we were in high school. All us dudes that are mine and Fran's ages.
Show me what you got.
Yeah. I don't want no 1 minute man. So this whole time in our lives is like, hey, we can't be minute man. But what consists of a minute man? Is it 1 to 5 minutes? Or is it like just a 1 minute man? Like how long is the right amount of time?
I don't know, like 7 to 12.
See, Kinsey said it's between 5 and 15 minutes. It's perfect. Yeah. And I'm cool because I make it just about 4:45. 4:45. I think we can round it up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty fine. That's fire right there.
Hey, you know something I have been doing since I've been feeling so funky though? I've been trying to, because I just knew that my hormones were going to be kind of all over the place. And I have been terrible in my life in general about taking vitamins. Yeah. It's just like not something that comes naturally to me. I don't know if that's normal for a lot of people. I know some people just swear and have always been good, but I just have a hard time being like, I'm going to swallow these pills every day.
And it can be a daunting task because I don't know what I should be taking, because it changes as we get older. And then like if our joints are hurting, there's different things we need to be taking. So it's the whole, I don't know what I really need to be taking. And that's why Care of is awesome.
Yeah, we love Care of. I've even started, like now I have a whole, because it's not just the Care of that I have to take. I have to take all my IVF medicine. Yep. And so now I've gotten in this really good regimen of going, okay, well I have to take this medicine. So I'm going to balance it out and I'm going to take some really good multivitamins. And just like you said, these are tailored to address your specific wellness needs. You're just going to go to careof.com. You're going to take this very in-depth, but it's just a 5-minute online quiz. And they're going to ask you questions about your diet and your lifestyle and any health concerns. So they can really customize these vitamin packs for you. It's really like getting a one-on-one consultation with a nutritionist, and you don't have to leave your house. And then they're going to prepackage these for you and send them to you, right? With your name on them.
Yeah, the boxes are really cool. You open it up, all your packets are right there. You just pull it out every day. It says something nice to you, and then you just take them and boom, you're set to go.
There's something about self-care though, JC, when they say it's just like, when you do a good skincare regimen and you drink, X amount of water a day and kind of monitor that, you feel proud of yourself. These are little accomplishments that you can feel good about at the end of the day. And that's just something else Care of really provides for you. Taking care of yourself is going to make you feel better in every sense of the word.
Yeah, it'll put a little pep in your step because not only are you putting in the right things into your body, you're also feeling like you're doing something right. So look, for 50% off your first Care of order, just go to takecareof.com/Fitish50 and enter the code Fitish50. Again, that's 50% off your first Care of order. Just go to takecareof.com/Fitish50 and then enter that code Fitish50. Get yourself hooked up. 50% off is half off, by the way, for our math people. We do quick math here on Fitish Podcast.
Quick math.
That's how we roll.
So I didn't get the house.
What the? I thought you got it.
And I wrote a letter.
Did you cry?
No.
See, you fucked up.
No, I wasn't really ready.
No, you got to make yourself.
So much to get together if I want to get a house, but no, they ended up accepting. They accepted the first offer already, and then now they're like they moved on to the financing, so it's fine. I mean, I'm not in a hurry to get a house. This is such a bad time to get one anyway. It's just at some point this year, maybe.
I mean, it's not a bad for you. It's a bad time, right? Or are you saying for the world?
It's a bad time for like a first time home buyer like myself to try and buy a house when I'm not selling a house is great.
Selling a house is pretty dope.
My stepmom and dad were kind of fighting the other day. It was so funny because she's like, they live in a really good zip code, and they're like, we should sell our house.
They would crush it in the area.
And my dad notoriously like hates to move. I mean, he would live in the same house that we had been living in since I was a child. I don't know what it is. He's kind of like, he just doesn't want to move.
And smart. That's why it's just moving.
Because he's like, we have two kids that are still like in the high school age. Like why, let's just wait until they're old enough and then we move. But they just have too big of a house. She wants to downsize. It's true. Like it's just so much maintenance and upkeep because they've been there for a while. And it's just so funny to listen to them talk about it. Cause she's like, we should move. It's like, yeah, but then where are you gonna move? Like I had friends sell their house and they moved into a high rise, but they can do that because their kids are real little and it's kind of fun and they can wait for a year and get another house. But you can't do that when you have 2 high school kids.
Yo, you can get
and 3 giant dogs.
The financing you can get right now, like you can get under the 3s right now. You can get in the 2%.
And you know what you can't find?
Houses.
A house.
Yes, because everybody's
in your price
trying.
range.
Yeah. They're always you're going to have to bump up a little bit. But with all the money you're going to be saving because of that percentage you're not having to spend, you can maybe afford it a little bit more.
But that's the thing. And that's the funny thing, right? That it's always either the reverse. So everything kind of works out to be the same.
Yeah.
The interest rates will go up. There'll be more inventory. And then
I met the people that bought our house, by the way.
How were they? Are they going to change everything? Are they weird?
I didn't. Well, no, they're not weird. Here's what's. It's a weird situation being in because I've only sold one house in my life, and I knew the person that bought it. So I knew the person going in, like we know him. And so that wasn't that weird. But this was different because we went to the closing and they were there signing before us. And so when we were walking in, they walked out, but I didn't know that was them. Mm-hmm. And so we're just sitting there and you just kind of lock eyes. And then I think it was the guy goes, are you guys the Chavezes? And I'm like, are you guys the so-and-sos?
What makes you think that?
Yeah, I was like, are you guys the so-and-sos? And they're like, yeah, we bought your house. And I'm like, then I felt self-conscious.
About your house?
Yeah, I was like, what if they don't like the house? And I just sold them the house. And now they see me.
Joke's on them.
I know, but it's just weird because I really want them to like the house because I loved it so much.
It's such a personal thing, yeah.
It is a personal thing. And I want them to love it as much as we love that house. And the whole time I was just going like, and it's really nice. I kept like trying to sell it. Even though it was already sold, I'm like, and it's really nice. You could do this to this house and you could also do this at this house and the neighbors are really nice. I'm like, what are you doing, idiot? Like you already sold it to them. Like, stop talking. Just say what's up.
It's done.
It's done. I spent 15 minutes.
Did you ever fix that fence?
Yeah.
Oh, you did. Did you?
Yeah.
Did you fix that fence?
Which one? Oh,
the one the neighbor kept hitting?
No, that's on the neighbor. He's supposed to fix it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which he says he will. So basically,
so that's their problem now.
My old neighbors. But but it's not one of those where it's unpleasing when it's aesthetically unpleasing. It's just one of those where you just want to take care of it before it's too late. But I did talk to the neighbor behind us, and he's like, "No, don't worry." I'm like, "Look, I'm moving, so just make sure that they get taken care of." So if it's not, I know who to call.
Yeah,
the police.
So they were nice.
So nice.
Kids?
Little boy, they have a little kid, little baby. So this is their first starter home. They just moved from they were living in an apartment. And that's what Kinsey tried to reassure me of. She's like, remember when we lived in an apartment and you moved into a house, it's like, it doesn't matter the state of the house or like what it's like. It's going to be grandiose. That's amazing. To them, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they're really excited. We were excited. And it's just this weight was lifted off my shoulders, just gone. As soon as we signed on that paper, it's like, oh, I don't have to pay 2 mortgages. Because I was already thinking about like, how's being homeless with a family going to be? That's the thoughts you have when you have like 2 houses you got to pay for. I was like, how's homelessness going to be as a family?
I don't know. I mean, the convenience store has good food.
Yeah, they do. I mean,
live off that.
I would for sure live in a 7-Eleven parking lot.
I think y'all would need a bigger car.
No, it'd be good because you got that little mini time.
You need like a Sprinter van.
Little SUV. No, that's fine. Roll the seats down, make it into a bed. I'll sleep in the driver's side. Yeah, we'd be fine.
Cross country it. Get rid of one of the dogs, probably.
I would want to do that, by the way. I would want to get like a van, not even like one of those Winnebagos, a van, and just go move to a different place. Like you see the
people on TikTok doing?
Mm-hmm. Like once a month, just go to a different place. Grand Canyon for a month, boom. San Francisco, boom. Go south, San Diego, bam. Going to Mexico if I want to. I just have to figure out how to get back in. But I would want to do that. Kinsey, not so much. Costa Rica.
Zika.
Imagine going all the way down.
I keep thinking about all these places that have Zika that I'm not going to be able to travel.
You're going to get pregnant. You can't do that. Mexico is one of them, by the way.
I'm going to go to Mexico, though.
Well, like the beach towns, right?
I mean...
Isn't Zika everywhere?
Kinda. But that small head is a problem. Like, that's a scary thing to be faced with. Like, I feel like, I don't know, do pregnant women right now, whenever you get bit by a mosquito, does that cross your mind? Are you worried about it?
I would think so.
I would think so too, right?
If I was a woman...
Because, I mean, what's the difference in Mexico and here? Those mosquitoes are mating and flying across.
That's what I'm saying. We got to stop those mosquitoes. And they come from South America,
I need you to travel with me because I get bit.
No.
I get bit when you're not around, but when you're around, you get bit. You're the juiciest.
See, I've learned that I get invited on vacations solely because I'm the mosquito hoarder.
You are, yeah.
They come to me, and I've said this before, and it's because mosquitoes are female. The mosquitoes that bite you, fun fact, are female.
All female.
And apparently, your boy has been voted sexiest man alive since birth.
Sweet blood.
The mosquitoes just, I am the biggest thing to ever happen to mosquitoes. And I will get bit every time we go on a family vacation.
I used to be, and I loved being with you because then, yeah, you get it.
I'm thinking about drinking my blood just to see like how sweet is this thing? You know, like what's going on? Why is it so addicting? Am I the crack cocaine in the mosquito world?
It could be something in your diet.
Are they dealing my blood? Well, my diet's regular.
Yeah, you have a good diet.
Chicken and broccoli and rice and cereal and candy and cookies and pizza. Lots of pizza.
Did I tell you that Fran and I found the best cookie place? And so like almost every day of the week, we've been ordering cookies. Okay, we love Uber Eats. I mean, I don't even want to look at my account and see how much money I spend on these food delivery services. Mm-hmm. And so during quarantine at some point, we found, he's like, I want cookies. And I was like, well, I'll make you some. He's like, no. I was like, okay. And I know what I'm thought of in the kitchen. And so we found this place to deliver cookies, and these cookies are amazing. They're big. They have like the nice kind of like, a little bit harder on the outside, but really chewy on the inside, and so many good flavors. We're obsessed. And you can do like a 6 or 12 pack in a box, right? But the branding of the box is absolute garbage. Like the branding sucks. It's this purple box. And so we've been ordering these cookies, and I was like, man, I am going to Instagram these cookies so everyone can know about these cookies. And so I'm looking on the box, I'm trying to understand. It's like MC, and I'm like looking around, and it's like purple, and there's like butterflies. And I'm like, what is this place? I've never even heard of this place. And so I look up the Instagram, because it's like, they're called Mariah's Cookies. So I go and I would like look up Mariah's Cookies, and it is fucking Mariah Carey. She has a cookie place.
Wait, what?
It's Mariah Carey's Cookies.
The singer?
The singer Mariah Carey. Like, how does she just have a cookie place in every city, and they deliver cookies? Y'all,
what in the hell?
These cookies are actually really good. And I was like, Mariah Carey doesn't need my help promoting her cookies, but the branding of the box is terrible. It needs some work. It just has a sticker. It's like, it could use a little bit of I guess she doesn't need help. You would think
Mariah Carey would have the best box ever.
Yeah. And but y'all, these cookies are on point. Really. I mean, they're big, and I get like a gingerbread, a pumpkin. There's a lemon one that has white chocolate in it. And I don't know. They're all really good. Red velvet. And they have all flavors, and the cookies are absolutely amazing. So highly recommend. Branding, don't judge. And Mariah Carey's Cookies. Can you believe that? And that's so funny.
I had no idea.
Next time you're on Uber Eats, look for Mariah's Cookies. I don't know if they're in every city, but like, why are they in Texas? They have to be in a bunch of places.
I still got to go through the Girl Scout cookies I have in my house. Some little girl, by the way, and man, I forget, I don't have her name in front of me, but she's a cancer survivor, and she lives in California, and she just broke the record for most cookie boxes sold, Jenna. Wow. Just take a wild guess.
I bet she had a great pitch though, with her life story and everything going on.
And she donates it. Like, she does a lot of things for charity.
So she's number one in the country.
Number one ever. With, I believe it was 36,000 boxes sold.
Wow.
32,000, 30-something thousand boxes sold. Can you imagine what a whooping that is for her mom though? Because her mom's the one that's gonna have to like set up all the deliveries and like the pickups and stuff. And Kinsey, that's when
you can pay by credit card now though, right?
Yeah,
I remember when I was a wee Girl Scout that it was like
wee Girl Scout?
A wee little Girl Scout. It was like cash or check only. And I like had to go get all the neighbors, and my mom would write it down on the form. Like, people weren't even paying by credit card back then.
Nah, yeah, you had to write it down.
Wow, that's amazing.
I want to start the Bro Scouts though. The Bro Scouts of America. We'll sell some whey protein.
Oh, I was like, they have it. It's called Boy Scouts.
No, Bro Scouts. Like, this is like, you go lift and stuff. You sell some whey protein.
Okay, I'm gonna start the Ho Scouts.
How you gonna get your badges or your badges?
I have a few ideas. Yeah, like, you get the WAP.
The Ho Scouts. Imagine the Bro Scouts and the Ho Scouts could get together.
But I'm not doing much for female empowerment with that idea, so let's scratch that.
But
I go through lots of bad ideas before I land on a good one. And I care a lot about business, but there's continuity issues with the Girl Scout cookies, because they have so many different manufacturers making the cookies that the tag along that you're gonna get in Cali is very different than the tag along you're gonna get in Texas. And I've even heard that in Texas it's very split, because northern Texas is getting stuff from Oklahoma, and southern Texas it's just totally different manufacturers. Look, so they're all tasting different.
You're getting different strains of cookies, depending on your region. It's almost like marijuana, I feel like.
Yeah.
But like in some places you can get my favorite ones are those lemon ones that have the white powdery substance on them.
Those are good.
Those are the best, but you can't get them in certain areas. It's like just a lemon cookie.
I'm into the Samoas myself.
The s'mores cookie is my favorite.
Never tried it.
It's new. It's newer. I think it's a couple years old, but it's so good. It's a s'mores cookie. It's got the marshmallow, got the chocolate, and it's got the graham cracker up top. It's so good.
Okay, well, so this is something I get to look forward to or dread when if I have a girl.
Yeah.
Both.
Here's the thing. Just ride that wave and just be right in the middle of the selling. You don't have to be the best. You don't want to be the worst. You just want to be in the middle.
No, I'm going to teach her how to do a presentation.
Yeah.
I'm going to make her, work on her sales skills.
Chloe and I did a song one year. I sang with her and played the guitar and she sang. And then last year she wanted to do it herself. She just did a video. She created a TikTok.
Oh, well, speaking of Girl Scout cookies and cookies in general, Fran and I have gotten into this pretty unhealthy habit of like taking cookies up to bed. And then it's always like, oh man, now I got to brush my teeth. Have you used your brush yet?
My brush is so dope.
Okay. I love this actually. Do you know, I know you're familiar with electric toothbrushes in general,
I've
but this is my first one that I've ever had. I swear I never had any other brand. I've never tried other ones.
First of all,
because I never found one that I thought looked cool.
Number one, sometimes we like to just put our toothbrushes away, right? When we're done. No, your brush, you want it to stay out. Like it's got its little docking station and it looks so sleek and nice. It actually goes with like the decor in my bathroom.
It has a case too that's really sleek if you wanted to take it with traveling.
You. Yeah. And if you don't know how long we should be brushing our teeth, by the way, it's 2 minutes.
I realized that for literally all of my life, I haven't been brushing my teeth long enough.
And brush, they freaking put a timer in this bad boy in different settings too. They have whitening settings. They have the regular settings.
And they have tongue.
They have tongue. Like whatever you need to do to your mouth, Bruce got your back. Just freaking switch it to the setting. But it'll literally tell you how long you need to be in that region of your mouth. So it'll be 30 seconds. It'll pulse, let you know, switch sides, pulse, boom, boom. You knock every single inch of your mouth out for the right amount of time.
You know what else I like? I realized that teeth in general aren't that big. And a lot of those toothbrush heads out there, when you're just manually, the manual ones are really big heads. And my brush was like half the size. And I found that it's getting around like my side, whatever these fang teeth are called. See, I clearly am not a dentist.
I'm going to go to the canine, the incisors.
My canines, yeah.
The ones we chew with.
My teeth feel so slippery and so clean. I absolutely love it. So just do it already. Get 15% off your Brush toothbrush kit and refill plan when you use the promo code Fitish at Brush.com. This is just brush with 2 U's. Okay. Brush, BRUUSH.com for 15% off when you use the promo code Fitish at BRUUSH.com. Brush.
So I'm going to Vegas.
Whoa.
In a couple weeks. For a bachelor party.
Oh, whoa. That's a heavy.
I know people like Vegas. I don't. It's not my vibe. I don't like gambling because I just don't like
throwing money away.
I just don't like throwing money away. I know I'm not going to win. I'm not a big strip club guy because I would rather talk to them about their life and why they're stripping and like, what are they looking forward to in life? What are we saving money for? What are we
You're
studying?
That guy. There's always that guy.
So I'm not a big fan of that. I like the shows. The Vegas shows are cool. And it's just the whole, I know when people see a bachelor party in Vegas, you're those guys. Like they just
are y'all wearing matching shirts or what?
We are not going to be wearing matching shirts.
Dude, but I'm so glad I don't have to have a bachelorette party.
I'm going with guys I don't know.
Really?
I'm going with my brother-in-law.
This is your
and
sisters.
It's all his boys. So I'm going to be the outsider. And for the first time in my life, the oldest one there.
Well, why don't you be the outsider? Why don't you just chill and just go do like the dinner and going out and not do the full day and night?
Because then I'm going to be the party pooper.
So?
It's like, I got to find that.
I'm complimented when people call me that.
And then Kinsey is going to Vegas too with my...
The same weekend?
No, they're going 2 weeks prior to us. And I feel bad for my...
Because she's going with your sister.
My sister. So I'm going with brother-in-law, a bunch of dudes. They all seem fun. I think it's going to be a good time. I really do. These guys look fun. But I feel bad for Kinsey because she gets to go with my sister. Her best friend, his name's Nathan. It's this super cool dude. It was her gay best friend from like when they were little kids. Some other girl she doesn't know. My mom.
What?
And my mom's bio mom. So her grandma.
That's her bachelorette party?
Yeah. And like 3 girls bailed out because they don't have enough money. So they like 3 girls bailed on them. And so it's just them. And they're going to take a stripper class. And Kinsey doesn't want to do it.
With your mom and her mom?
Yes. And they're going to have matching shirts, bro. And I don't know how I feel, but they're going to Thunder Down Under. Or
I've heard that's a good show.
No, or maybe not Thunder Down Under. Maybe it's the other one. What's the Magic Mike?
Ooh, that'd be fun though. Dude,
don't they rub their crotches on their face? Because my mom was saying. I was
COVID
talking to her.
Crotch.
I was like, Mom, you know they're gonna rub their crotches in your face. And my mom goes, well, if they rub their crotches on my face, I'm just gonna punch him in there. And I was like, Mom, you can't just punch him in the crotch. You just gotta take it. You got to take the crotch to the face.
I don't know. I think the girls' trip sounded more fun now. At first, you had me sold on the guys' trip. This is more fun, though.
I just don't know how I feel about the male strip clubs. I just feel like those guys are trying to hook it up.
I've been to one before. Remember, I went to the one here because they were actually doing the Magic Mike
you got frisked
documentary.
By a cop.
Yeah, because I had too much crack. He put me on a chair and bent me over. And don't you remember Joe Manganiello was there? That's when they were doing the documentary on like what was behind Magic Mike. And so Joe Manganiello was like literally side stage, and the guy bends me over a chair and was like, you have too much crack.
It's on camera, by the way.
The male strip clubs, I think I was shocked because I went for that reason because we knew all that was going on, and Joe was so nice, and but I took some girlfriends. I had never been to one of those places. I mean, I'm not big into the strip clubs or whatever, and I've been to most of the strip clubs in town. Mm-hmm. I formerly employed there. No, I had just been with guy friends and whatnot, and so I like them fine. But I found that the male strip club in town was by far like the cleanest, the nicest. These guys have so much into the routine, and it shows the difference between what women want when they go to see like a sexualized experience and what men want. Men do not give a fuck. Like, this girl doesn't even have a matching thong and bra set on, or like her little like titty pasties don't even match her underwear, which that always bothers me because I at least want a theme. Like, why can't she come out and be like the Salma Hayek in From Dusk Till Dawn? Or like, why can't she come out and have this theme with like a snake?
Some do, right?
Yes. No, they just come out and like have a song, and they just are like, like swinging their leg around and getting all the dollars, and they do cool tricks and stuff. But the men, I mean, they come out, it's the full Magic Mike. Like, they have the full theme. They're either going like full Western or cop with the music and like this whole skit. It's absolutely amazing.
It's like the movie, like, really?
Oh yeah.
Choreography and everything?
Oh yeah. They are like full routine. It's my girlfriends and I were kind of like, oh my gosh, we had no idea. And very clean, like all the booths and stuff. It was like really, really nice because all the women have their own table. So then you can get like a guy to actually dance on your table. It was just very different than my experience.
Do they stuff those things? Because I feel like those dudes all have like these dongs. Just like they're always like in these little like banana hammocks. But the dongs are always just like...
I'm sure they have tricks.
Statistically
just like
speaking, there's no way they found all these dudes with huge dongs to be stripping.
And their grooming and their bodies and the way they're all so fit and so tan and so smooth. And like, you don't get that at the female strip club. Like, they're just like, you get it.
Interesting. See, I've never been. I did strip one time in college.
For money?
Yeah. For a party. It was a sorority. And they said that their guys had canceled. It was a birthday party for this girl, and they wanted to hire some dancers. And this girl came over and she was telling us how upset she was that the guys canceled last minute, and they were trying to set some up. So my buddy was like, we'll do it for you guys. How much you guys paying? And she said tips. And he goes, but like, how much do we get? And she goes, I don't know. What do you guys want? And he goes, I don't know. Can we get like $50 each and some beer? Which I've realized that that's a little bit on the low end. We probably should have asked for $100, but that's fine. So we took $50.
Good in college.
It was 3 of us, and we had about 3 hours. So we went to one of those shops in like the seedy part of town and bought
outfits.
We bought like they didn't have
so you really stripped.
They didn't have the thong that we needed, the male thong, but they had Speedos. So we got these Speedos, and they had little faces on the front. And we got lucha libre masks.
Amazing.
So that way they wouldn't know it was us, except they could tell by my tattoo. But we ended up stripping, and I walked out of there with like my $50 plus 15. It's pretty dope.
$15?
Yeah, they weren't tipping very well. These girls were broke too, but I got $75. It was pretty cool. Like we did it. It was the one time I could mark that off my my bucket list. I could say I did that. I don't know how good we were because we were not choreographed one bit.
Probably not.
And one of the guys out of the three of us definitely could not dance one bit. Like he was the stiffest, not in a good way guy ever.
Wow.
Yeah. So I did that one time.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's a cool
I
time.
didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
That was a good story.
I'm a wild man, Jenna. I'm a wild man.
Well, hopefully
who's now tamed.
Makes everyone's day better knowing that story. I love that.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a good business idea, though. If you want to open up a club and you don't want people to know who you are, just be the lucha libre strippers.
Just the mask and a wig. Yeah.
Yeah. People like that. Don't steal my ideas. Just a bunch of Latin dudes, too. I'm going to talk to Fran about it.
Yeah, please. I would love to see. I would love to see Fran strip in a lucha libre mask.
Kinsey and I were talking about this the other day. This is so off tangent, but kind of not. I asked her, if I were in a lineup of dudes, like it's just all naked dudes, but just our bottom part, I was like, do you think you would recognize me?
Yeah, I'd recognize Fran.
You think you would recognize Fran? Yeah, because Kinsey said she could recognize.
Well,
she
it
would definitely recognize
depends.
me.
Did they select people that have like identical genitalia?
No,
because
just be
then
random
that would
people.
be difficult.
That'd be just. I don't think there's identical genitalia, but I think there's got to be some.
You know what I mean? Well, yes.
Similar genitalia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she said she would be 100% sure she would be able to tell.
Circumcised, if they were all uncircumcised.
They're got to be all different and stuff. And then she asked me, she's like, would you be able to tell if it was just the bottom parts? And I was like, see, because that's different, because I don't know. I think so. I think I would be able to tell. Like I'm 95% sure I could tell.
I don't know. We don't inspect it as much as we inspect faces. It's not like I'm like, yes, okay.
Yep. But we see it every day. Like we walk around naked every day. And so I feel like she would, I think I would notice. I think I could tell which one Kinsey is.
I could tell Kinsey. No, I'm kidding. Oh, all right.
Oh, man. Good times. Well, I'm glad we started tired and we livened up, Jenna.
You did. I'm hungry.
Oh.
And cranky.
I'm getting phone calls from spammers. Where's your watch, by the way?
I don't know. Where's my engagement ring?
Oh, my goodness.
I forgot to put my jewelry on. I put some rings on that I found, and then I walked out of the house and didn't put anything on. And I didn't put my watch on either. I don't know. Don't worry. Just so everyone's clear. I get a lot of questions about this when I post photos on Instagram without my ring on. I don't always wear a fucking ring. Like it doesn't mean that I've broken up with Francisco. I just sometimes I don't feel like putting I don't even have my other necklaces on. I just don't feel like putting jewelry on some days.
That's what a lot of men.
Or I feel swollen.
That's what a lot of men say when they're having affairs.
Yeah. I just don't always wear my ring. Okay, well, where's his engagement ring? Why am I the one that has to wear the ring?
Because he bought it. Buy him one.
I'm going to buy him one.
You should buy him one.
I'm going to buy him a little engagement ring.
Jenna's going to go look for an engagement ring. Hopefully she finds it by next week. And we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.